Some of you might have seen that some people coming up and saying that now PMI is going to use PMBOK 7 and the PMBOK 7 is coming in the exam. So there has been some update, yeah, related to PMBOK 7 and what is the real intent behind it. But rather than making speculation, let's look at the website of a PMI and find out what is there exactly. So one can go to pmi.org and click on certification. Let me share the screen and we will do it together with you. So let me share, click share screen and Chrome tab and PMI exam updates. So if you go to PMI website, you can visit first the PMP page in case you are visiting yourself. And then when you scroll down the PMP page, you can find out details related to the PMP certification in any case. But there is something also detail a URL hyperlink about current exam. So you can click that current exam and it takes you to another page where the detail related to current exams are little bit elaborated. And in this section, you have a PMP exam reference list. So this is the place where we need to look into, and we will spend some time talking about this reference list and what is the impact of this update, which many of us have been thinking. I clicked something else by mistake. Yeah. So here we look into it. So what we are clearly saying here is that PMP exam is not written to any particular book. It's a perception that people may have that PMP exam is from PMBOK. It is not. So it is from PMI's exam content outline, and that is something we should be focusing on. Having said that, how to prepare for exam content outline, how to develop areas related to exam content outline, those things can be found in many books. And I'm sure 90% of the participant might have never read most of these books. They only probably remember the PMBOK guide and they may not care about other books. And that's a little surprising why we give too much attention to a PMBOK guide. Because usually the PMBOK guide used to cover major portion of the exam content outline, but day by day that thing is changing. Now the exam content outlines are little dynamic in nature. Now what happened earlier? So what PMI has done as a change in last say in a week's time, they have moved this thing. It used to be a PMBOK guide 6th edition. Now they have removed any edition from here, and they are generically referencing that you can take care of PMBOK guides as a references. That's the only thing. Yeah. And then again, there is a little footer which needs to be seen in detail. So it's clearly saying the PMP exam is based on PMI's exam content outline, which got effective since January 2021, not on any PMBOK guide or any other reference book. The reference, now the guide of PMBOK guide 7th edition will now be referenced to inform the development of exam items. So now what does it mean? This is the statement which was creating some confusion. So whenever PMI runs the exam development workshop, they are expected to start adding the PMBOK guide 7th edition, whatever the ECU is matching and which is also present, the exam content outline content is matching, and that part is also covered in PMBOK guide 7th edition. So that can be used in order to develop the exam. That's the idea. And second is that once you do some performance and you get some feedback, they can give some reference to a PMBOK guide 7th edition. Yeah, that's the thing which they are mentioning. So you can say it's a gradual movement towards PMBOK guide 7th edition. And again, they are saying, however, before any validated exam item is added to the exam, there will be a rigorous review, and it can take few months. So the idea here is the exam may get some questions as per exam content outline, not as per PMBOK guide 7th edition, but some of the overlaps, which is anyway there. There is a good amount of overlap between PMBOK 6 and PMBOK 7, exam content outline in PMBOK 7. So those areas may be taken from PMBOK guide 7th edition, and they will get validated in few months. And once they start showing some results, they will get moved to those questions also may become marked. Yeah, so that's the whole idea. Now somebody will say, okay, then how this thing will impact me? So if you are enrolled to any like authorized education provider, authorized training provider by the PMI, you get material from PMI. So for you, that's the material you need to focus on, because that material, that book which you get as a student manual or exam prep manual, covers the exam content outline pretty well. There are questions which are needed in exam content outline also covered in PMBOK 7, but they are already covered in your exam content outline. So you don't have to worry about it if you are focusing on, if you're going through an authorized training provider programs like our one or thing. So you already have those topics in your list. But if you're independently preparing, say you have your PDUs earned some time back, or you are earning PDUs from some non-PMI authorized training provider and getting some PDU certificate, which PMI accepts, but that content is not necessarily aligned to the new exam content outline. So in that particular case, it is good idea to go through. If you are preparing yourself, then you should, in my recommendation, prepare well with PMBOK Guide 6th edition, Agile Practice Guide, as well as PMBOK Guide 7th edition. So these three sources and maybe few more reference books from this particular list you can pick up if you are preparing yourself. Yeah. And one of the one which I would recommend here is this the book which is primarily on hybrid. You may read this particular book as well if you are preparing yourself. But people who are going through a proper ATP program preparation, I think they should not worry about this particular update.